From your outside point of view, you see a smile in frivolous ways, but underneath this fake facade is a beast that breathes with shame. There is more than meets the eye, and I'm so comfortable in this disguise, teeth as sharp as razors, hidden behind this painted smile. There are times when I feel heartless, cold and insecure. My closet is piled with bones that I've been holding on to for years, but it's about time I let them out. Undignified as it may seem, I have to kill this parasite that has come alive inside of me. God, amputate the parts that are still left unclean before the infection spreads and I'm left to rot from this disease. My sin is ever before me, a haunting reminder of how I failed, frightened by the initial sight of a man I thought was dead, looking at me through a broken mirror that reflects everything I hate. The pollution I've inhaled is only fueling my deepest rage. I've done my best to clear my conscience, so it's not like I haven't tried, but I swear that there's nothing darker than the thoughts that cross my mind. And I could possibly blame genetics for the reason I'm incandescent, but I'm accountable for myself with no one to shame when I'm living reckless, when I'm throwing my fist into walls. These inanimate objects take the place of those I hate. It's a shame how bad the stress gets, but the mask fits so perfectly, and no one would suspect it, because I laugh the loudest. None of you will ever notice that I feel rejected. Since the days of adolescence, the song Behind Blue Eyes was a reflection of the man my dad would soon become. He sung that song for years while tapping on the steering wheel, pouring his heart out as if he wrote the song himself. But a song is just a song until it is felt. Then it becomes something else. You see, the rhyme gives birth to reason, and I've seen my dad in all 4 seasons of rage, but I've also seen him change. So I'm left without excuse for my contingent attitude towards the people I've been hurting. Knowing that they don't deserve it makes me feel so low and worthless. The words I've used for cursing, the life that I've been given. I'm trying to convince you that I've changed, yet I remain so stubborn, so indignant. The introspection of your eyes have seen all I have to hide, contaminated by the sin that ravages through my veins like a virus. My anger so unrighteous, unjustified are my reactions led by these spontaneous relapses. For years I've been in bondage to the chains that held me captive, imprisoned by the shame. But tonight I'm unmasking, here I am. Imperfect, yet so perfect is your strength and all of my weakness. If you said that I'm forgiven, then you know that I believe it. Here I am. Though broken, here I stand with nothing more to give and so much more to gain. Here I am. Here I am. Thank you so much. So yeah, I am from Houma, Louisiana. I got time for one more?
Yeah.
This is a song I wrote a few years ago. It's a story about a man I met, and he came in the disguise of an old man with a weary soul, a home that he claimed he didn't have, and I'm sure that the story he told was nothing short of the truth. On Highway 182 in the middle of the day, the sweat poured down his face, but the peace he displayed amazed me. You see, he told me he came from Florida, looking to find a job, and the bag that he carried was all that he got, but I didn't have much to offer him. I had a little hope and faith that I kept inside of my broken heart for that day. I told him his home was in heaven, that he had a father who cared. He smiled and said, I don't believe in none of that stuff. But I still asked if I could pray. So with one hand on his back and the other toward the sky, I prayed for this man, though it should have been him praying for I. Although he said he didn't believe, I saw God in his eyes. He said he didn't believe, but I saw God in his eyes. And I'm reminded that you're found on the countenance of the broken, the oppressed and the hopeless. Forgive us our trespasses as we stomp the fingers of those below us as if we're so much more important. She was only 17 and her baby was sound asleep, despite the rumbling sounds of vehicles passing down the street. I couldn't help but think, it's not safe to be out this late at night. But it was just a thought as I was passing them by. And sometimes I try to make excuses, and my pride I must refuse because I know I can do more. For the hurting, the lonely, and the abused, but I just turn my head because I can't bear the thought that I'm abandoning you. But I find it true that we speak among the liars. We shake the hands of wretched thieves among the poor. We are the beggars, the blessed children in need. So I ask of thee, do you see Jesus when you look at the least of these? If the image of Christ is found on the face of the least of these, do you see Jesus when you look at those in need? Because he was a man of sorrows, acquainted with suffering. He was pierced for our transgressions. Behold, the King of kings. And to what expense do I owe? For the washing of my feet, how exquisite are his ways, how deep his love for me. Through his rejection, I'm accepted. By his brokenness, I am restored. Healed by his wounds, I am redeemed now and forevermore. What manner of love is this, that he take a beating no one else could have endured for the sake of loving us, as horrid as we are? Lifted up so high on this pedestal, we're bound to fall, embraced by the weight of the guilt upon our hearts. It would seem we've long forgotten the lessons that we were taught. The greatest among us is the servant to all. Like sheep, we've gone astray, but our shepherd would rather leave the 99 than to leave us behind. As unbelievable as it may seem, there's something so clear about the words that he would speak. Whatever you did for one of the least of these, you did it for me. Whatever you did for one of the least of these, you did it for me. Thank you all so much.
All right. Y'all ready for white collar?